My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Hearthstone Arena, where we are looking for a druid. Ooh. We also have a mage request. Now, the request was to do mech mage, but I have said very recently in a number of arenas, this was by Signature, I believe. I have said in a recent number of arenas that I'm not going to be taking archetype requests. If any of these mech cards are good, I will pick them because they are good. Usually mech cards are, but I'm not going to try and draft mech mage, and I'm not going to just draft every mech card regardless of how bad they are. Because I don't have the fucking gold to play poorly. I'll take the Micro Machine. I think there's enough decent 4-drops that I'm not going to really be hurting for those. Mind Control Tech, Micro Machine, Abusive Sergeant? I think it's okay. I want the Mad Scientist if I think I'm going to get a seat. You know what? I'm going to rely on picking up a secret as a... Oh, Flame Strike, fuck yes. I'm going to rely on picking up a secret to justify that Mad Scientist. Force Tank Max, pretty good. Dancing Swords, Burly Rockjaw. Venture is pretty good for pushing in that face damage. Ice Barrier is not a secret. Arcane Missiles might get me an early game kill. Vaporize is a secret, especially considering both of these are So I'll take Vaporize. It's fine. Defender of Argus or Blizzard. I need a lot of really good early game minions that stick to the board for the Defender of Argus to be as good as it can. I think I'll actually take the Blizzard because the Defender of Argus is inconsistently good. Take the Arcane Intellect for card draw. Take the Ironfur Grizzly. I don't like having to do that, but I will. Kirintor Mage? I mean, if I'm drafting secrets, I'm gonna try and draft secrets when they're good. Boldest Ogre is a really solid 6. Fuck yes, that's Mirror Entity. That's a really good secret. Sorcerer's Apprentice is gonna be really good considering the amount of spells we have in our deck. Zombie Chow is always great. Another Flame Strike or a Polymorph? I think it's the second Flame Strike, actually. Snow Chugger completely shuts down certain decks, so I'll take that. I haven't got any of the really good 3... Oh my god, another count. Yeah, that's another secret. It's a pretty good secret as well. And also, it avoids a lot of the problems that I'm currently having, with... I've got too many secrets and not enough ways to... Sorry, I've got too many ways to summon secrets and not enough secrets. Gnomish Inventor, Spiteful Smith. Spiteful Smith is a bigger dude. Gnomish Inventor is a card draw. Got Arcane. I mean, Mad Scientist is kind of a card draw. Take the Gnomish Inventor. Oh, thank you, Mechanical Yeti. Not going to take it. I'm going to take the Chillwind Yeti. Yes. Another Sorcerer's Apprentice for the early game is really solid. Frost Elemental. I mean, it's the best stat-wise versus its health, I guess. Sorcerer's Apprentice number 3. Pretty good. Stormwind Champions, really good for the late game. I'm looking for things to fill this fucking dip in the middle here. Mana Worm, because the other two are horrible, and I have some pretty good early game cards. Fuck yes, Water Elemental's really solid. Hopefully that carries me in a lot of games. All of these, not really great, so I'll take the... Okay, that's an Argent Commander. My 5-drop slot hates me. So does my 4-drop slot. Chillwind Yeti, Gnomish Inventor, Water Elemental. I mean, I've got two really good ones. I guess I'm relying on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got kind of sub-optimal late game as well. This isn't good. This is not good. I guess I'm relying on having my Sorcerer's Apprentice out and allowing me to cast an incredible amount of spells early, rid my hand of spells, and then just draw more with an Arcane Intellect, and then rid my hand of all those spells. Wow. That requires a bit too much. It can be done. Can be done. I would not be surprised to see this deck go at least 4 wins, but past that, I'd be pretty surprised, to be honest.
Versus Troll for Doomhammer.
You asked for it.
Troll does not have an actual opening, so... Boom. Yeah, I'll keep. Snow-Choker is really good. Snow-Choker is going to be really good against, here. You know, the here weapon. Stormforged Axe. There we go.
I feel
I feel icky. So this trade's 1 for 1, but this trade's 1 for 0. Unless my opponent has a Rock Biter weapon or a Lightning Bolterino. And if they do, then they have to spend that this turn, and I get to Fire Blast. Fuck you, Taunt. Oh well. Hey, now I get to Fire Blast it for free. No. I'm actually going to develop a Sorcerer's Apprentice. So there's almost no chance this survives. What the fuck? So that's a 50-50 and a 50-50 and a 50-50. So that's a... about 12% chance for that to happen. Oh, another 20. That would have developed a 3-2 into a naked board. It was worth the risk. Yeah.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
I can't do that.
I'm really disappointed. Thank you.
Suffer my wrath!
Saving the 2-1. Yeah, I think that's worth not using the... not being able to summon one of these. Hey, now it gets to trade optimally. Otherwise, this would have been able to kill a 3-3. That's... pretty good cards in hand, so I'll actually just play the stronger minion. I'm so disappointed. I know it's difficult to see when things go your way, and you always only see the negatives, blah, 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 blah. A million things that I've said time and time over to other people, but no, when it's happening to me, it's different. Fuck. Needed the Mad Scientist to draw the counterspell. Now the Mad Scientist has no spells to draw. I've used all 3 secrets. So hopefully this hits a the one what board clears.
Hey, give me a minute.
So my opponent can't seize the board by using a spell, and their current minion on the board can't seize anything. So the only way that they would be able to seize the board would be flood the board and then not be flame struck. Which is why I Blizzarded to basically buy myself a turn, so that if my opponent tried to do anything, I'd just flame strike him in the game. Oh, what's that you're saying? You won, you shouldn't be salty about that leper gnome. No. I'm gonna continue being salty, actually, so...
Jaina versus
Timpo, the paladin.
I will fight with honor.
You asked for it.
If I get a... You know, those are good enough in a curve that I'll actually keep them. Especially because one of them will allow me to play a secret for free. That's really good. Especially since my opponent replaced their whole hand. Coin, Sorcerer's Apprentice, Kirin Mage, Water Elemental. That gives me 2 turns to draw a secret.
I am ready.
Yay, I got to trade my coin against that.
Bring out your dead.
Don't you dare. To follow it is good. This almost definitely survives, actually. Oddly enough, this has basically no downside despite being 1 mana cheaper now. It's a shame that I've got to work through all that health, but unless my opponent silences just before I kill it, I'll pretty much still be on top as a result. I just hope that it summons one of my good cards. That should kill my 1/3. I sacrifice it because it's super vulnerable against Flame Strike. Sorry, Flame Strike Consecration. Now I just need my opponent not
You gotta be kidding me!
to be able to silence it. Excellent. So they're trying to be super aggressive. It's cool for them. See what I get. That's really good.
We have many secrets.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Unfortunately, I can't kill this, and it's, you know, it's follow-up. I need my opponent... Well, I hope that my opponent fucks up and accidentally runs the Venture Mercenary into my face. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Just that, of course. Still 1 turn from Flame Strike, unfortunately. If the Sorcerer's Apprentice was still on the field, that would be a little bit different.
I wonder.
Pass me that art
Draw the
light.
card. Oh, look at all those Sorcerer's Apprentices. What's that? Vulnerable against Flame Strike no matter what. Attack the face. Not Flame Strike, Consecration, sorry. We're in a pretty good position. Goodbye to that. Now my opponent's probably done that. They probably knew what that was. They probably did that so that they could just cast a minion that they weren't able to cast. That would have cost them 8 previously, so they wouldn't have had the mana to do it. I can give them a card in order to kill the Azure Drake. I think that's correct. Because the other plays involve me killing too much of my own stuff.
You gotta be kidding me!
Hey, give me a minute.
I want to say that I was playing around mind control tech by not playing a Sorcerer's Apprentice, but I still think if I had a if I hadn't played the Venture Mercenary first, I would have played Sorcerer's Apprentice, Venture Mercenary rather. Develop another minion. Oh, baby. Name's Dracarino. Your whole life is a big
How you doing?
Quite good. Quite good position we're currently in. Very few ways I can see us dying here. Of course! So we've managed to curve out pretty well in both of our games so far. I want to see... Well, I don't want to see what happens, but we're going to see what happens when we don't curve out particularly well. Very soon. We've also had our secrets be pretty effective. I mean, the Mirror Entity, for example, got us a Fen Creeper. So that's a 2 tempo gain. 2 mana tempo gain. The 7/6 5 mana Venture Mercenary died to a Vaporize. So that's a pretty big gain.
Jaina versus
Counterspell might have been stopping our opponent from wiping our board. We don't know. I am going to assume it wasn't stopping our opponent, because they would have tried at least. Vaporize is not going to be that important right now. Plus, I want to send back as many secrets as possible so that I have the... There we go, and that's a bad curve. So that we have the biggest potential of getting something from the Mad Scientist.
Hello.
Greetings! Don't you fucking flame at me, piece of shit. No Frostbolts. No Flame Cannons. Oh, no, wait, a Flame Cannon was offered to me, but it was offered against a Flame Strike, right? Flame Cannon, Flame Strike, Polymorph? There's no way I'm taking the fucking Flame Cannon over the Flame Strike. No way in hell. Oh, do I Dennis Missiles? 3 damage to the face. That's such value! Gotta hope my opponent, you know, out of necessity needs to play a 2-1. That's not good. I got a 50-50 of killing it. At least that one was a 50-50, right? So there was a significant chance that I wasn't gonna get that kill. 50% of the time. At least it wasn't, you know, 12.5%. 1/8. Still missed it. I'm gonna have to coin Water Elemental next turn. The amount of damage that my cards are doing isn't super important. The fact that I have something with super high health on the field is going to be pretty important. Chillwind Yeti dies to both of those, whereas Water Elemental does not. Chillwind Yeti also kills both of those, but so does the Water Elemental. So the Water Elemental is no less effective in this situation than the Chillwind Yeti, unless my opponent Defender of Argus is. Shadow Bolt isn't that bad. So I could ping this, but then I can't develop anything. Oh, now I can.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Saves my Chillwind Yeti. Yay! So we're pretty much working towards the late game, which means I want to accumulate my Flame Strikes in hand, use them opportunely, and then win the game off the back of kind of depriving my opponent of such value by removing 3-4 things at a time with the Flame Strike. Drugzor. Great, now I can't Arcane Intellect. How dare you? Want to develop the Bolt of Hisoka next turn, but it's very much looking like attack, ping, Sorcerer's Apprentice, Arcane Intellect. Oh, fuck you. Piece of shit. So if I play the Ball of his Ogre... No, I'm gonna Arcane Intellect. That's me telling my opponent, I have Flame Strike. But also, I just gave my opponent 14 damage to do this turn. Let's see if they take the bait. There's no way you take the bait and develop more minions right now. Right. I'm gonna Flame Strike next turn, that much is obvious. If you can save this one, you buff it by 1 health, but otherwise you just attack for the face. Maybe even tap. I think that was the wrong play, what I just did. I think I should have just played the Vault of Stoker. Oh, there's mine. Ah, that was smart. You're a smart man. Just hope that doesn't draw anything out, I guess. I lose. So they played around the mirror image correctly, which means they knew it wasn't vaporized. They knew it wasn't. I mean, like, I could continue to play, but there's literally nothing I can do next turn that doesn't, you know, end in me dying. Oh look! Oh, so I was hoping they were going to go for all of the damage and then hastily end up either giving me another minion or doing nothing. I clear the board, they have to play a minion, and then I get a copy of that minion. It's kind of what I was hoping for with that mirror's image there. I really should have just developed a board, because telling them that I have Flame Strike and then knowing that they're going to basically know that I have mirror image, put me in a position where my opponent could play really heavily around my board, and then they brutally fucking face-fucked me out of doing so. By doing so, rather. I think the only demon that I could have in my deck would be Illidan Stormrage, the neutral legendary.
You asked for it. My magic will tear you apart.
That's really early game based. I'll keep a 2, a 2, and a 3. Because then I can, you know, 2 is a 1, and then a 2, and then a 3. And if I need to, I can Snow Chugger and coin Snow Chugger, next turn Sorcerer's Apprentice, and then free Arcane Missiles.
Hello. Hello.
Chugga, 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 chugga. Chugga, 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 chugga. Something I'd really like to see is rare, but some weapons for other classes. Like, Jaina should have like a staff that she can use. I think that'd be a pretty good idea. Oh my god.
Someday I'll be just like you.
I'm a sad panda. Why am I such a sad panda? I'm getting all my secrets in my hand.
It's clobbering time.
So I'm not really saving on them. Opponent now has a 50-50 to kill themselves. Now you've got a 100% chance to kill yourself. Okay. It's fine by me. I mean, I'm behind in mana, but I'm ahead in card value now.
We have many.
Tor develops a counterspell for free. That's pretty good. Means my Kirin Tor doesn't die to Frostbolt. Means it doesn't die to that other one that isn't Frostbolt. I'm not good at naming spells.
For Dalaran.
For Dalaran. Engaging TC-130 Mental Dislocator. This is my attempt to impersonate the cards. I should probably do one run where I learn the exact sayings of every single card and then try and do them perfectly. Does count though. You get your fucking minion. You piece of shit with your minion. That was amazing. I take back everything I've ever said about RNG. That was stellar.
For the Lich King!
Oh, baby. So this is going to go down to a 6-2 as a result of my turn, which means my opponent's either holding a Blizzard in hand, or they are not entirely certain how to play the video game. I also could have just frozen the... Oh, I should have just frozen the 4-6 and then attacked face. Would have had 6 more damage to the face, and would have reduced my vulnerability to Flame Strike, which apparently is not an issue, because Flame Strike's not going to happen. Ping, Blizzard, attack face. Ooh. Still gonna do it. Because I now know my opponent doesn't have Flame Strike, because you definitely Flame Strike that board. You kill this, that goes down to 1 health. Fuck yes. So if this card is a Flame Strike, then whatever, right? Fine. But if any other card is a Flame Strike, then you played badly and it accidentally won you the game. Okay, so the only thing that wins my opponent the game here is probably like Defender of Argus.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Mirror images. Well played.
Well played.
3-1. Excellent. This is the second arena of the day. The first arena of the day was 162, 161. I think it was 162. No, 163. It was 163. Oh, slight. The Hunter arena. It's going to be in the playlist, obviously, before this one, so that's how you know which was recorded, I guess, in this order. This is probably going to be the second arena I called today, and then third arena later. I'm just on a roll. Not in terms of winning, or in terms of performance, or in terms of drafting cards, or in, you know, any reasonable way. No, I'm just on a roll in terms of I feel happy about playing this video game. Which some days I wake up and I just, like, I look at this game and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to play this game today. Which is, it's a weird feeling to have because there are so many video games that I love. To be able to look at a game and go, I don't know today, is weird. There are some days where I'm like, fuck man, all I want to play is Hearthstone. But there's 0 days where I have, oh, yeah, that's not good. But there are 0 days where I sit down and go, I don't want to play Oddworld, I don't want to play Grimrock, I don't want to play X, Y, and Z. X, Y, ampersand, Z.
Get in there, fight, maggot!
Yeah, I'm gonna play a 4-drop next turn. So, my opponent had 1 target to Fire Blast anyway, so they had 2 different targets sitting here and they had 1 target to Fire Blast anyway. So it doesn't matter that I generated a 2nd target to Fire Blast, except for Arcane Explosion, basically. Really? Really? Okay. I'll trust you that that was a good play, but I don't think it was. Chewing Yeti. That was the correct order to do those things in, otherwise I would have ended up with an opponent with 30 health. Hell yes. And obviously I want to sacrifice the Zombie Chow because the Zombie Chow has a negative death rattle. Negative for me at least. So I kill that and then summon the Ventrico. That seems correct. Now the point of the Ventrico is just to be really scary. Right? The point of the Ventrico is not to be a good card. It's to be super scary and to make your opponent really, really sad so that they do shit like that. You know. Play suboptimally around it, I guess. Blizzard could hit this turn, but Flamestrike can't because my opponent used their coin to summon its no-choker at the start of the game, which I countered with my Zombie Chow, fucker. My memory is getting a lot better as I continue to play this game. My memory is getting a lot better as I continue to play this game. Now I'm going to sacrifice this card because it just doesn't have any value right now. Draw a card. And I'm not going to do anything other than ping and attack. The reason I'm not going to do anything else is Flame Strike. If I Flame Struck this turn, I'm only going to lose those 3. This replaces itself and means that if there isn't a Flame Strike in hand, I have another minion to develop on the board and to kind of rage against my opponent. Flame Strike is pretty debilitating right now, but I do get the board back afterwards. Opponent does not have Flame Strike. There is 0% chance the opponent has Flame Strike. You do not make that play if you have a Flame Strike in hand. So I'm going to go balls to the walls. Now if my opponent Flame Strikes me, they are the best player in the world. I will bow down to their greatness, to this explosion. Of course, unless it's the top deck. So if it's this card, y'all can get fucked. But if it isn't, then, you know, well played. Since they're inspecting this, I'm assuming they're going to try and kill this. No? Fireball? Oh. Sucker's luck, buddy. Sucker's luck. Interestingly enough, if I get another Sorcerer's Apprentice, I would, like, another Sorcerer's Apprentice means that you can play a Sorcerer's Apprentice for free and cast 2 spells for whatever they were before. Right? Because you save 2 mana, 1 mana off each spell when you play a Sorcerer's Apprentice. Of course, there's no way that I can do that, because these will cost 9 even after a Sorcerer's Apprentice, which means that there is a total of 11 spent that turn, which is not possible considering I don't have a coin, innovate, or any of the abilities that can set me over 10 mana, but still really cool. It's really nice to think about that type of stuff. The reason I'm thinking about that type of stuff is what if I need to buff up the damage of the Mana Worm in order to actually attack the face for the amount of damage that I need. Polymorph that. Wow, that's a little desperate. Okay, so I have not an incredible amount of damage, actually. Definitely don't have Lethal. So I developed the Mad Scientist because it means if my opponent does try and, you know, rage against my board in any way, they're going to draw out... I've used Vaporize. Have I used Vaporize, actually? You just fucking polymorphed it into another one? Damn, that's hardcore. I don't even know anyone who's crazy enough to polymorph a sheep into a sheep. Now that's some powerful play. 4-1. I guess the standard at this point is cutting to part 2, so I guess that's what we're gonna do. Alright, we're gonna cut to part 2. You will be able to find the link to part 2 down in the description.